Well, I'm gonna start out, and I've been wanting to do this for probably a long time, and I've been just either didn't have the time, or I've been holding off. And I'm basically just talking about a subject that very few people know about. Those few are either one of the exes I had, or my wife, and that's about it. This is something that took place and began before 2001, and the main day that I remember that it all really started was August 31st, or around that time frame. I think, I don't know. August 31st, I remember that day for sure, 2001. And the 2 weeks before that, the last 2 weeks of August 2001. And just the whole entire month of August is something that I probably never forget about. And that month has always been something I won't ever forget about. Even more than the miscarriage that my wife had. And even more than the house that I lost in foreclosure. But that time frame of August 2001, 2 weeks before the end of that month, is something that is so unusual, can barely cover it. That time frame of 2 last weeks of August became a time frame in my life that has been locked away, the most forbidden type of subject and area of any time that I've had. And I kept it locked away, and I kept it away from everybody until now. This is a this is a real confession I'm going to make to everybody that sees this video. I'm not showing myself for a reason, and I have to keep it that way. 2 weeks before September 11th, 2001, or actually just 2 weeks at the end of August, I started to meet unusual people. And these people, it was more bizarre than I can tell you. Like I said, this is a time frame, an exact area of time in my life that has been locked away and forbidden. Even my own thoughts have forgotten it or locked it away and forbidden myself to even think about it. That's how insanely confidential or top secret this sort of is. Not in any bad sense that you would imagine of that word top secret or classified or confidential. It's to a different point, meaning that, you just can't really share with anybody because they're gonna think there's something totally wrong with you. Just like how people have come forward, either saying they have been abducted by aliens, or they seen UFOs, or they have been abducted. And we haven't heard those stories in a very long time. You would hear them on TV shows. There used to be a lot of TV shows that covered that. That was years ago. And of course, we all know countless amounts of TV shows that covered the whole subject of UFOs and other life out there. UFO cover-ups, conspiracy, everything. Area 51, everything like that. What this relates to me is, and this is the area you have to be very careful with. And it totally involves 2 different domains. And there is so much, that is easy in your mind that you would accept this as truth. Because you can either hear my voice, or there's something that you can feel or hear or sense or detect about me, my voice, even without knowing who I am, seeing who I am, just by sound. You will know, and you will know beyond knowing, without knowing, the absolute truth of something you just heard, just by the vibration of how it sounds, and how your self and unconscious mind can figure that out, compile it, recompile it, in whatever different ways. So the 2 domains that I'm talking about, and here we go with the last 2 weeks of August 2001, I started going to these online chat rooms, and they were about psychics was part of it, ESP, everything like that, telling the future. I don't want to go too far in that. The other part of it was the paranormal and dealing with the paranormal. And at this moment, I'm not going to go into that one. And then the other one was UFOs, extraterrestrials, and that. So there is a total of 2 domains right there. Paranormal and extraterrestrial. Now, what nobody has really thought about and ever considered, this is what I am going to put out there. And it could be either taken as a completely false information, either disinformation, maybe just don't know. I don't want to bring up anything else either, conspiracy. I'm trying to avoid conspiracy theories and trying to bring the government and all this other stuff. I'm not talking about them, I'm talking about me right now. This is me. And this has nothing to do with the government or any human type of religion, anything human, period. It has nothing to do with anything here. It has 100% to do with me and 2 different domains. And probably more than that. One of the things I have to tell everybody that hears this, you gotta be careful what you wish for, because it does come over time. And what I mean by this is, I had always the wish, and I really, really wished I had dreams about. I would dream constantly about having certain gifts. One of them I've been having many, many, many dreams about, and they're totally reoccurring. They keep on starting over where they left off, or they start over, or it's the same type of dream 100%. And I'm coming forward on this one here. It's in the dream, I have the ability to move objects with my mind, 100%. And I even remember and know what I had to do to move that object with my mind. This is going to sound way too bizarre because nobody's ever really thought about it that way. For those who know how to do stuff like this, we have seen it on certain TV shows where they can bend a metal spoon with just their mind. They can bend it just by looking at it, or they can move objects just by looking at it and thinking about it with their mind. Telepathy, basically. But you never for one time have heard one of those people, those folks. They haven't covered one thing, and what they don't cover is when that occurs, that ability, that gift, whatever you want to call it, as it occurs, why has not one person who has that gift ever come forward and say, this is how I do it, and you can do it too? They haven't covered that, and they never mentioned it. And I can cover every subject. I got a list of things I can tell you. How come they can see the dead? How come they can talk to dead people? And how come they can receive messages from beyond? Both domains, the extraterrestrial and the paranormal. How can you channel information into automatic writing, compose thoughts that are coming from not only paranormal, extraterrestrial, but also from a future version of you, yourself, and not only that, of folks of a future that is so far ahead of us that they have mastered the art of time travel. And time travel has been figured out and can almost be proven. And time travel can be done at any time, any place, anywhere. And it's all using your mind and your own special abilities that we all have. We can actually tap into a future that we will never see. And how does that happen? What does it take for that to occur? It takes a lot, meaning 2 different domains, paranormal and extraterrestrial. And the paranormal, when you think about it, this is real easy to figure out. They have no boundaries because they're passed on. They're basically energy. So without any type of boundaries, time or space, then why could they not actually go in time anytime once they learn how to use that skill, since they're just pure energy? Makes sense that they could. So this whole time we may have people around us, or maybe entities or something, energy sources around us that we cannot see, that are actually way far beyond our future right now, our time, thousands of years in the future. How would you even consider that not being true at this very second as you hear this? As you look straight ahead at the wall or look out the window, how could you not even agree that there's probably something around us at this very moment that is not of us, either of the planet, not human, or in energy form? Something that has traveled back so far beyond that either they can't come back, or they can't go back, or they're stuck in this dimension, and it can just keep on going on over and over. And I have to stop right there because I can go too far in that subject there. So basically, I started to meet all these people. I don't remember names, and it's better I don't. And for some reason, I never have been good with names. And sometimes I feel there's a reason behind it. Because I'm not supposed to remember every single name that I've met. Because there's really good reasons why. Because, I don't know. Boy, it's too scary to think about right now. But I met these people. And I'm going to go over a little bit of history on the people I met in this chat room. It was a UFO paranormal chat room. So we talked about all that stuff. All the subjects. Every subject that is considered dark, black, secret, classified, beyond secret, top secret. All the senses of the word secret, top secret, classified, locked away, unimaginable, beyond everything is describing that one area, that one room that we were in. And it was wide open to everybody else. It was never on lockdown. It never had a password on it. You could join that. Anybody can join it. So it was wide open. So it would look like just a regular public chat room. And nobody thought anything of it because we were not trying to hide anything. Everybody there was not trying to hide anything. So, and we did know that constantly the moderators would come in there, and they come in invisible where you can't see them. They don't show up on the chat room list, and you don't see anything. And one by one, all of a sudden you see people get kicked out of this room, and you don't know, wait, how did it happen? And it's by a blank name. There's not even a name of the person that kicks you out of the room. So, or the room would just crash. It would happen very often. So that was an indication that everybody also mentioned it. So that's why we got used to the room crashing all the time and people getting kicked out left and right on the sound just dying, because it was not only just a text chat room. It was actually a voice chat, voice and camera, live webcam. So it was a cam, text, and audio voice chat, live. That's of course it's live. Obviously, it's on the internet. Okay, and I'm not going to name the name of the program. It's extremely popular. Been around for so many years, maybe 20 years, but I don't care right now. The point was that these several people that would always go to the room all the time. It was like it was beyond. It went far beyond a family. It went even more into that, more deeper than friends, way farther than that, and even went further than what you call family. It was something different. And everybody bonded with each other so well that it didn't seem normal how everybody got along with each other. And really didn't seem normal. I still think to this day, I never found anybody that I never had a problem with. Like problem, getting a little argument, getting a little fight. And we're talking somebody that you're in close quarters with, you're talking to every single day for days and days and days. After a while, something's going to happen. Somebody's going to crack or break, and bam, argument, a fight happens, never fails. That describes our entire human history of war and everything else because of that. But nothing happened with us in this room, in each of us. And that was something that cannot be explained ever. But either way, I guess it doesn't matter right now. Because all of a sudden, I don't know, everybody just splitted. Everybody left their own way. And that was it. It's all gone. You cannot find that chat room anymore. Can't find those people anymore. And there's no real proof that it even happened in the first place. Everything can be denied right now. There's no proof of anything. I do have text documented proof of something else that was in the same program, the same type, in a different chat room. But it was a psychic chat room. And I really have to cover that one. That's very important. But this UFO paranormal chat room, that I got to explain a couple of the people that were in there. Okay, and you have to realize that the odds, the astronomical odds of each of those people all of a sudden just meeting online on a chat room. I mean, that alone is bizarre, and a number that you can never come up with and figure out how it happened. It just got to compare it to how lightning strikes. It only happens once in the same spot. And what I experienced is never to be again in August, last 2 weeks. And I feel that that's the absolute truth. I try to go back to those days. I try to get back into those subjects. I try to do something you're gonna find out soon in this video that I did. And I cannot repeat it. I can't come close to it. I can't do it anymore. The gift that I had somehow just went away fast. And I felt the urgency of completing this project that I did, because I knew, back of my mind, without knowing, that this gift, wherever source of inspiration, which remains unknown, wherever it came from, whoever gave it to me, took it right back. And they had to give me little hints here and there, subliminal type of ideas, and they had to tell me basically that this gift is going away fast, and it's going away soon. You have to use it or you lose it. You use it now. Okay? And I'm gonna make it worth your while to use it, because I'm gonna give you something that you never had before, and it's been one of your greatest fears since you were younger than young, a little tiny kid or something, up until now. One of the greatest fears I've had. I will give you, and I don't know who's saying this to me, but I'm just saying it right now. This is really hard to explain. But if you had a fear that you've had your entire life, and we're talking entire life, from a baby up until now, it has been a hidden, dark fear that has been so uncontrollable that you have a phobia over it. And if one day somebody told you, I can make that fear go away temporarily, if you did this, if you do a favor for me, I will take that fear away right now. And because I want to take your fear away, and you want to know why I want to take that away, because that fear is stopping a gift from coming out. The gift that you're actually going to receive, that you've been asking for, was not able to come to you because you weren't able to accept it. You could not accept that gift because you had this fear that blocks the gift. And this is something I'm going to confirm in this video for the first time ever. And this feels like such a classified area of conversation that I am in an unannounced area. I'm not even home right now. I'm in a very unannounced area, and it's dark outside. It's nighttime. I'm all alone in my car where there's nobody around, and nobody can hear me. That's how serious this really is. So if you still are listening to this video, you're gonna be hearing some serious stuff that you'll never forget. And I hope you don't lose sleep over it either. But basically, the gift was blocked by this fear. So you think about it. I mean, everybody would love to know the future. They would love to know the winning lottery numbers. But they will never get that ability because there's something blocking it. And until you fully understand, believe that, and I mean believe with serious conviction, that this is exactly why this gift is working right now and why I have it, is because this fear was blocking it. And your mind is believing that so much that it is actually making that gift become a reality all on its own, and manifesting that gift to a tangible state that you would never think would be possible. The most bizarre and impossible becomes possible and becomes reality. Once that fear is removed, the gift becomes real. And it stays with you only as long as you have the power and the strength. I mean, we're talking, you gotta have serious strength, conviction, faith, stamina. Like as if you're running 10 miles non-stop. What does it take for you to run that far without stopping? It takes a huge amount of just incredible power, strength, and stamina, self-discipline. So the fear that I had was so gigantic and that it took a lot of power and energy to block it, to keep it blocked. To not only block it in the first place, but to keep it blocked. And that energy that was helping me, besides my own self, that was causing that to happen, to block that fear, was running really, really quickly, running out. And I somehow knew it, back in my mind, self-consciously, knew that it's going to go away one day, and it's not meant to have this forever. So, just a lot of, so the gift, and besides the people that I met in the chat room, I mean, I gotta explain a couple of them, and this is beyond most of what I can fit into reality, because it got to a point where you almost your whole you would cover and talk about, discuss subjects that were so dark and just beyond shocking that it would your eyes would turn black. They become darker. You feel a darkness even when you're seeing a bright light. There's a darkness that covers the light. You feel your soul turn dark, black, whatever. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that there's such subjects and such things in reality that you come in contact with that is more than you're supposed to have, and more than you're supposed to handle. And you're not supposed to know about it, because it's not from our world, our time, our zone, our dimension, or anything. And it was never supposed to be released and revealed and found out. Everything. It wasn't supposed to. But it did come out. And out of the, I don't know how many people it was in this chat room. Okay, I'm just gonna go down the list a little bit. I don't know the names, I can't remember. One guy, he swears, and when I tell you these people talk about something that they have been through in their lifetime, something so great and massive of importance that it goes beyond the unforgettable and beyond classified and beyond top secret. So just know going forward when you watch this video that these people share something like that, as do I, and you're gonna hear mine too. But first theirs. One guy, and the way they described it, just like you hear my voice, they described it in such a way that you cannot deny what they're saying. Your mind is accepting it as absolute truth. Because there are some people that, they tell stories, and you could just be like, oh, you roll your eyes, and oh yeah, this is so, who's gonna believe this? But no, the way they told their stories and told what happened to them, subconscious mind, the vibration of their voice, there is a truth in there that is undeniable, and there's no way you can deny what they said as being false or fake or made up. There isn't. So I'm just gonna put it out there. So here is the first person, and I don't know his name, but the only thing that I can tell you is he basically traveled. He was here during some type of a mission that took place sometime, and I have no time frame of when. But there was a beyond highly secret mission that this person went on, and apparently he was either in the Air Force, some branch of military. There was something military that about him, and how he described everything, and he was in something like that. He was part of some fleet of, and you guys will probably never believe it, and it's hard for me to describe it, of all these things that I've heard and what I was told of each of these people, who they were and what they experienced and why did we all meet by such grand accident. So he traveled. Apparently he was saying, his story was that he traveled, and they have already traveled at a speed of either at light speed or beyond the speed of light. And they already have vehicles and spacecraft developed for this. Not only that, they have a fleet of them. And I won't say what country or who, where, when, how, but there's a fleet of these spacecraft that are interstellar, intergalactic, basically, if you want to call it that too. So apparently this person already completed several missions and traveled to some, beyond what anybody's ever heard and any news has ever covered. We're talking manned missions and going to back and forth missions to a well-discovered planet, another solar system, with all these different planets, and also many different, I don't know how to call it, but it was many different species, I guess, of extraterrestrials. Like, there's many different kinds of extraterrestrials. There's not just how you see they're green or whatever, but there are, in fact, that's what one of the personnel of this chat room have mentioned. The U.S. government has been in contact with not only one, but maybe 37 or 40 or something like that, total different extraterrestrials and civilizations so far.